Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part two of the snowed in edition of Inside the Gorilla Position with your host, Jason Rumble and Da Boyz. The boys are pulling in the parking lot, getting ready to come on in the studio. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit of whatever you were hopefully able to catch a little bit of AEW Dynamite. And I'm kind of hoping that we can get one Joseph Kill Martin to come on this evening because, you know, Joey said some things the other night that, I want to talk to these 20 somethings and 30 somethings that are having these, so to speak, Wednesday night dynamite parties and their intelligence ain't getting insulted. Whereas well, get on here. I'm available. Okay. Well, get on here. I am going to bring in the boys right now. First, let me bring in AJP, Adam Jack Belly. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. I'm not too bad.
There you go. How's the weather at Halifax this evening?
Well, we didn't get as much snow as we thought we were going to get. It was just enough to shovel a bit, but the first time I've ever seen it pretty much in my life, there was thunder and lightning in a snowstorm.
Wow, incredible. Without further ado, the APOC, Stiff Mike King. How you doing, buddy?
Can't hear you, Mike.
You have your microphone muted. There you
Shut
go.
up, Kelly. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Pain in the asses.
And I have a special guest this evening,
Was it Forbesy?
Antonio Brown, and he's reading the Fisherman's Game.
Oh, the clown has arrived.
How you feeling, Mikey?
My ass is killing me right now.
What was your first symptom, man? Were you
It started off with it started a couple weeks ago, like having troubles going to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I was going all the time, and then Tuesday it was all day.
Holy
And then Wednesday it was the same thing, and then Wednesday night I started getting extreme abdominal pain, like
Oh wow.
to the point it felt like Rick Fuller jumped on my stomach with spiked boots on. Like that's how it was bad.
You got to monitor this thing? Is it talking surgery?
No. I caught it early.
Say goodbye to nuts, buddy.
Yeah, I don't really eat a lot of nuts, anyways.
Or seeds, sesame seeds on buns and shit like that will kill you.
I can't eat like I am addicted to everything bagels. I can't eat them. Yeah, dude. I can't eat broccoli anymore. I can't eat cucumbers, tomatoes.
Yep.
And believe me, this dietary change will become easy because this is the alternative.
Yeah, I will. Like the doctor said that I'm gonna, once I figure out the fiber diet, I'm gonna drop weight like that. He said I'm gonna lose at least 20 to 30 pounds in like 2 months.
That's good.
Well, I've been on that way, but like I was doing keto. I was doing a keto challenge. I can't do it anymore. They told me not to do it.
I need carbs, especially since I've cut down drinking coffee.
Carbs are harder to kick than heroin, dude.
And plus, I have to stop drinking as much coffee as I do too. I drink like 4 a day.
Wow. I drink 2 12-ounce in the morning, and I used to drink, you know me, Mike, I used to have the pot going.
Yep.
All day, all night. Now my go-to is after 2 cups of coffee, I drink green tea with organic honey and some almond milk.
Yeah, so what I did, I switched to black coffee with one Splenda.
I'm gonna do my best Pelly right now. Green tea by Bigelow's. That's my choice.
Yeah, on the weekends I drink black coffee, but during the week when I go to work, I've used oat milk in a Splenda.
There you go.
So,
all right. So, Mr. Forbes, you weren't with us last night, and I just got to ask you this question because you're avid at one time, avid lover of the AEW product, but since then the boiling kettle of AEW water has thus far, dwindled down to a mere warmness in your heart now, where it used to be hot, hot, hot. I sat down, and I'm not sure if you tuned into my interview on Thursday night with one of our esteemed group members, Mr. Joey Kilmartin.
Stupid.
And I still can't get over what he said to me.
I did catch this part. Go over this again because my mind was.
It's a form of wrestling that he could invite his friends over his house, and he wouldn't be afraid to turn it on because AEW doesn't insult the minds of the human being like WWE insults the minds of human beings. Basically, that's what I took from it. And he basically put it to the point of that there's AEW parties all over the United States popping off on Wednesday evening for the hottest wrestling product alive.
So basically, Forbes, we found a bigger clown than you. Go on.
Well, it depends on what you're looking at. Like you can take isolated scenes, like if I had people over and I watch zombies come in and eat Miz up, I'm going to be embarrassed about that. If there's just a general population of people watching without knowing the history or trying to make sense of like why people are getting title shots after losses, a general audience isn't going to pick up on that. I mean,
so I have a question for you. It goes off the last statement you just said about zombies eating Miz. So why would you be embarrassed about that?
Because it's just that's not.
You're not.
professional
So
wrestling.
you're not. All right. So you're not in the business. You're not like Jay is, Pelly is, I am. We're in the business. We've been in the business a long time. You're a fan, and I'm not taking anything away from your credibility or what you know about wrestling. But why would you be embarrassed of that? It's they were putting over a movie. They were promoting a movie. Granted, it was stupid. I'm not saying it wasn't stupid. I just want to know why, as a fan, would you be embarrassed to show that to somebody that it's entertainment on TV?
When you're already watching a product where grown men are groping other men in spandex underwear.
Thank you.
That's what I heard. Yeah, right there you should feel awkward if you have friends over the house and they don't know you like wrestling. Then all of a sudden they say, wow, you like to watch oiled up men in underwear parading around in a boxing ring.
I've gotten my share of that throughout the years.
Anyway. To me, that's more embarrassing than if nobody ever saw wrestling before, came into my house on a Sunday night, and they seen it on television. They'd be like, wow, it's pretty weird that you're watching grown men grope each other. But that was pretty cool how the zombies came in and ate them up.
Yeah, but see, it depends on what type of crowd is over the house. And B, I've heard that all my life being a wrestling fan from people.
Same here, buddy.
We all have.
So here's what I'm getting at, Forbes. I don't mean to attack you. Are you watching wrestling for wrestling, or are you watching wrestling to be entertained?
Both. That's a good question, AJP. Definitely a good question. Now, for me personally, I'm not entertained. I'm more entertained by what AEW puts out than WWE. Obviously, you guys know this already. I mean, I don't even know why would you even ask a question like that, Jay?
he asked it to stupid because
I asked it to somebody who's in the 20-something area range, the 20 to 30 age demographic. And I basically asked him what was the big hoopla in his brain when it came to liking AEW over liking the WWE product. And he basically had said he said that the WWE, he feels that it insults the intelligence of a human being, and AEW does not in any way, shape, and form insult the intelligence of human beings. And I'm going to say this.
They both do.
Yeah. Oh, my God, they both do. So the other night, say you invited me over your house, and you're like, Jay, watch this matchup between Hangman Adam Page and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's like UFC style. And say I'm a huge UFC fan. And in my brain, I've always thought that pro wrestling is erroneous, is fake, and is ultimate bullshit. So the other night, they go outside the ring, and he puts him and drapes him over his shoulders and does that reverse pile driver. Now, in the real world, a real person, if being dropped on his head like that, especially on jiu-jitsu mats, on cement, which is 20 times harder than what the professional wrestling ring is, how is that guy getting back up and even wrestling? So to tell people that wrestling does not insult the intelligence of a human being, it insulted mine, and I know wrestling's a frickin' work. I think the more that you do these false finishes, especially when you're dropping people on their head, exposes to the business to being, as Walter Kowalski would say it, and Mike's heard it, he would yell, bullshit! That was fake, goddammit!
Yeah.
That was fake!
And
you
when it
can't
comes
get up and dropping him on his head. Walter, old school historians would they could take some of what goes on, but some of this stuff, like the other night, you got Wardlow doing multiple power bombs. The kid in real life, the stretcher should have came out and should have took that kid away.
Just like they used to do when Snooker used to do his early splashes.
Exactly.
Let Pelly get his word.
All right, get your word in, Pelly.
And when it comes to WWE and their wrestling, they don't really insult the intelligence of the fans like that.
No, I don't think they do. They try to keep the match sort of they keep it fast-paced, but they don't insult your intelligence by letting people get dropped on their heads 73 times.
No, but
they're trying to raise the bar. They got to raise the bar every week because they're giving everybody the whole kick and package every week. They got to raise the bar, and that's the only way they can do it.
From an
entertainment
value, no. But when we're talking about, rationale between like someone getting title shots and stuff like that. That's a different argument altogether. Like things making sense is where it insults my intelligence. From an entertainment value, no, absolutely not, because it all does.
Yeah.
I'm still not. I if you go through the course of time, I'll go back 15 years. Like I still never liked Rey Mysterio going over Kane for a title. I never liked that. No offense to the shorter guys. It's just I never liked that stuff.
Go
ahead.
If me and Mike worked a match, Mike was always bigger than me. Mike always figured out a way, or I always figured out a way, if I was going over on Mike, on how I wasn't jobbing his credibility out and his size out. And we figured that. Mike knew I wasn't going to pick him up and give him a freaking brain buster. And if he ever told me to do that, I'd tell him he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, because the way we were trained for it to make sense and to be believable.
I'm 175 pounds. This dude comes out at 300 pounds, spitting fire with a smoking skull. If I pick him up and throw him away, I'm more demonic than he is. So whomever wants to face me needs to bring a 9mm to the ring, plant one in my head just to pin me.
Right. Exactly.
The psychology and storyline of professional wrestling realistically has gone out the window, Forbes.
Yeah. Well, and that's because AEW is not really running.
It's not even AEW that's to blame.
Let me finish. I'm not blaming just AEW.
No.
AEW is not running storylines. They're indie booking and they're fantasy booking. And WWE is just booking by the seat of their pants right now. The only longest running storyline they have right now is Brock and Roman Reigns. And that's it. Like, I don't know where else they're going with. Like, so all of a sudden, Seth Rollins is now challenging Roman Reigns for the title at Royal Rumble. So that Capelli's theory could come into play where Seth Rollins loses to Roman Reigns, wins the Royal Rumble. Now he's in a 3-way with them.
Yep.
And the reason why, hold on, breaking news. Breaking news. Flair has asked for $20 million and apologies for Becky Lynch to use "I'm the Man."
What?
Yeah, you didn't read about that? I saw that about an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was going to post it. Yeah, Ric Flair says that he has "The Man" is copywritten and he owns that.
Well, guess what? Ric Flair's a lying fucking sack of shit because I looked it up. He don't own shit.
He should not be.
"I'm the Man" or "The Man" is not copyrighted by Ric Flair at all.
After all that Vince has done to get him through the hospital.
Well, they should get. I agree with that. But
$20,000, like, come on, dude.
You're getting petty now. $20 million for
$20 million. So I'm watching the Ultimate X match between the girls right now. Not bad thus far.
Without Vince, dead.
Back to the indie wrestling. I told many people this. I consider indie wrestling and the new wrestling today, I call it shotgun wrestling. Because you can shoot somebody with a shotgun and they'd still kick out.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, today's wrestling, some of the kids today, it's not even wrestling, it's fucking spots. They're spot monkeys. And it drives me insane. And then people in the locker room, when I say, what's the sense of doing that? Well, it popped the crowd. Yeah, what's your point? Still made no sense. You're not telling the story. And they just look at me like I'm a fucking retard. But
then
you can pop the crowd with a headlock. You can pop the crowd with a headlock.
Right. Yes, but then if Mike Swallow says it to him, they kiss his ass. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because they think that he's going to get him somewhere. Mike Holland has no connections to the WWE anymore. Period. Zero. Gone. None.
So, Forbes, what was your overall, because I wanted to talk a little about AEW tonight, just a tiny bit to touch on their debut on TBS. What did you think of the overall matchup of Jade Cargill and your favorite Ruby Soho Fingers?
As Mike would say, the drizzling shits. That was just awful, dude. I mean, listen, I think Jade has a look to her that, you know, her in-ring is terrible. You guys could speak to that.
Yeah, I will be one that she needs a wrestler to carry her. And it's the way
you could have saw. Did you see Ruby vocally carrying her through the match?
Oh yes.
1, 2, ready. It's just like I understand Ruby had to do that.
Right, but especially in that spot from the top rope where
she almost kayfabed it. She almost killed it and said, "Nah, I don't know if I want to do this." That was supposed to happen from the top.
That was too long of uncertainty.
They were talking. They were having a conversation. They were up there. And I don't know. Yep. Let's go. You ready? You ready? Like, seriously, dude. Like, Jay was kissing her ass last night.
No, wait. I said the match itself was a good match because Soho steered her through it. It had nothing to do with Jade Cargill. I love her look. She's 24 matches deep into her career.
She's the shits.
I think she can improve with the right foundation.
I think so too. But
She's the drizzle and shit that came on my ass this morning. She's the shits.
that
You know
that
what
match.
she needs? The
that-
performance center.
That
She
match
needs
for the
performance
TBS
center.
title, that match for the, and I've said this before, and I think most of you agreed that that should have been between at least one AEW original in Statlander and maybe Thunder Rosa. Like that would have been.
I think it should have been between Soho and what's her name there? Oh, you just said her name, Ruby
Statlander.
Soho. I like Statlander, but quite possibly Thunder Rosa.
Serena Deeb.
Or Serena Deeb. I
Yeah.
think Serena would have been great for the title.
And-
I
and
think
just-
right now, if they're thinking about taking the title off of Britt Baker, it might be around that time. She can now last without having the title to make her credible.
Just to close up on the Cargill thing, because I know you guys were on it for a little while, and your statement was misconstrued. I understood what you meant, but overall, I hope to God that this wasn't a narrative to put it on. This is the medication makes me fucking lose my memory. Cargill.
Yeah.
Was it a narrative move to put it on her, or do you think it was decided a long time ago? I don't know.
No. I said this last night. They took a shot at freaking Big Swole. I'm telling you right now. Swole did not tweet that out. Ruby Soho was winning that title.
Okay.
Because Tony Khan's been kissing everybody's ass from WWE since he signed them. Believe me.
Okay. I believe that Tony Phillips, former WWE announcer, is now with Impact. I forgot that was part of the news too. He's doing the commentary. Yeah, he's doing.
Why did Stryker get fired?
I don't know. So we were just talking about Jade Cargill. I honestly don't believe. I know people want to believe it. Like we're all entitled to our opinion. I believe Jade Cargill got that. It was decided months ago that overrated female version of Goldberg was getting that title.
Well, whatever the deal
This is for your opinion, Rumble, right here. It stinks.
Hey, I believe that I believe it has nothing to do with Big Swole. It's just that it's the timing of it that makes it look that way. I believe they had their mind made up. Can I tell you, as soon as I see that title invented and that Cargill bitch was in the thing, I knew it was going her way.
As for Swole herself, I've seen plenty worse in the ring, so I don't know what the deal was. But like, hey, if she can't write promos, she'd be perfect for WWE.
Well, not for nothing, but again, they have too much talent. If you notice, when's the last time you see Frankie Kazarian on TV?
They got to start cutting.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what.
Last time you saw Murder Hawk on TV, besides him getting injured, he's been cleared for a while.
He'd be perfect in WWE also. It's that big guy narrative. I don't know if you guys saw the list of the women's Royal Rumble, man, but they need some women badly.
Yeah.
Well,
I could not believe what I was seeing.
The buzz is on for the
Mickey
Mickey James gimmick. I'm telling you right now.
I think that's good.
I just saw today that Mickey James, well, NWA, it's not that big of a thing, but she was on NWA with the Impact Women's Championship as well.
Yep.
That's good for business, man.
Yep, it is.
I think Scott Hahn is trying to push. He's just trying to push his product as much as he can so he can get viewerships and stuff, so he can keep the product going. I think that. So, if not, that thing's soon going to fall flat, dude. That's just my opinion. He's going to try to push his product as much as he can.
It looks like they got a decent little crowd going on tonight in Dallas, Texas. You know,
what do they got? 200.
Next time they pan out to the crowd, I'll look. But it looks like they got a decent little crowd.
Hey, they got a decent.
But Scott D'Amore, he is a wrestling genius. He'll figure out some way to keep it going. It's been going this long.
Well, he's going to start working with WWE. That's one
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
He's got to. It's on life support. And again, the roster is good.
Listen, I'm just waiting for when the Good Brothers come out on Monday night.
That's definitely, I can see that for sure. No question.
And I love the
I
fact
can
that
see the original Bullet Club coming out on Monday night.
Yeah.
They have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, how funny is it for some of these ex-WWE guys that all of a sudden now they're going to be working with Vince again?
Look at, what's his name? Kaz, man. He looks great.
Yep.
They'll just
tonight-
rumble. They'll just shut their mouth and take the paycheck, bud.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
Yeah, they want the exposure.
What it all boils down to is you're getting paid to do a job. And if you don't want you don't want to do what they tell you, get out.
Did you see that they took the title off Cody?
Yeah, I don't know, something stupid. He's hurt or something.
Mickey James just mentioned the Royal Rumble on a promo.
Was this on regular TV?
No, pay-per-view.
Let me hear it.
Tonight, it is a Texas.
She just basically what she said at the beginning. Mickey James, the Impact World Women's Champion, is walking into the WWE Women's Royal Rumble. And I didn't hear what she said after that. And she's more or less cutting a promo about her match tonight against Deonna Purrazzo.
$5, she loses the title.
Yep, I was just gonna say that. She's not coming into the Rumble with the title.
So, although last night might have been
Wow, wouldn't that be a tease of the Forbidden Door if her contract is up tonight and she resigned with the WWE? And here we all are thinking the Forbidden Door got kicked open.
Wouldn't
And
doubt it.
realistically, she just signed a contract with a new company.
But if she wins tonight, then the Forbidden Door is open.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know, honey. I can't drink a whole can of Coke at once. One of them's not mine.
So, Deonna
I
Purrazzo
don't know, but I'm
has
not putting
in
my mouth on
her
it. Mine's to the
corner
right.
Aiden English, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I still got that one in my car though, with the little ones. Stupid that they want money, isn't it?
Yeah, because then when you
Yeah.
Forbes, you still dealing with COVID over there?
I went and got tested 2 days ago. I'm clear, but there's been exposure. You know what I mean? My son's boss, he's negative. My son's negative, but now my other son is having he's having symptoms, but it could be just a cold.
Yeah.
A little heads up to everybody who's having a tough time getting a test. What you got to do is you got to set your alarm clock at 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and set it up at that hour. And then when I went in, that's what I did
Really?
to get my test. When I went in to get my test, she says that's exactly what you have to do, because as soon as they open, boom, you can have your pick of the litter for about half hour to 40 minutes, and then it all gets blocked out. So anybody who wants to get a test, especially through CVS, do it at 2:30 a.m., 3:30 a.m. If you do it at 2:30 a.m. and you don't do it, try 2 more times between 2:30 and 3, and you'll get your test.
Well, I have a shit ton of tests at my house. If you need one, let me know.
Okay. All right, Stiffy. I might have to take you up on that. I'm gonna try
I just-
tonight.
There's a lady in our building here that got COVID, so I got tested about a week ago, and I was negative.
I hope Mickey's doing good, man. I've been keeping in touch with him privately, and I heard him last night. He doesn't sound good at all. He's got like a breathing issue too.
Yes.
He got pneumonia on top of COVID.
He said he had walking pneumonia. He had
Plus he's a big
texted me
guy.
earlier to tell me that he wasn't feeling good and wanted to get an early night to bed. So
Well, let's keep tabs on him.
we shall.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a big guy too. You know what I mean? That especially with breathing.
Who's this Steve Macklin guy? Got a good little look here in TNA. And I'd have to say, whatever building they're in, they probably got the whole floor is filled. So the ringside area looks really good.
I'll tell you, if we were doing this podcast 12 years ago, I would have been the TNA clown because I loved TNA. I loved it. Especially during the Cena, the Cena era. I was just like, give me TNA. I'm so sick of Cena. Hey, check this out, man. I don't know how much fantasy football you guys play, man, but I won the big cojones, man.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, the big work league, man. This is a big plus a G.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was the name of your team?
The Snake King. It's funny that the Dog King came about after the Snake King. I was called the Snake because I was always the guy like who set his alarm and cleaned out the waivers at like 3:59 a.m. I'm a competitor, man. I'll do whatever.
I hear you, buddy.
But Mike, we didn't. What happened with Cody? Does he have COVID or is it an injury? They made it an interim.
They made an interim champion because of his injury protocol, whatever the hell that means.
Wait a second. So Night of Champions
Cody's
tonight.
not there. Yeah, Cody's not there.
They put Dustin in,
Yeah,
who I love.
Dustin's the interim champion.
To go against
Dustin's going
Sammy
in as
Guevara?
interim champion.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
They
Just
should
strip
hold
it.
the. Yep. Absolutely. They should have stripped it, let Sammy face whoever, and the winner there is the champion.
The reason why they took it off of Sammy because he was going through personal issues. Dude, he cheated on his girl with what's her face, the Brazilian chick. That's his
Now him and
Conte.
Tay Conte, they're a couple now.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
But that's not against the law, Mike.
Scumbag.
Well, I'll be honest with you. If he had never went on TV that first
That's my
time he
point.
went on, hugged
my
her and
point.
kissed her and showed the whole world that that's his girlfriend, and
I
not only
hear
his
ya.
girlfriend,
I
but that
hear
was
ya.
his fiance.
He proposed to her in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know. I'm not saying he's not a scumbag, but I mean, come on, man.
Scumbag.
Edge
Good for
cheated
him
on his
for-
wife while champion with like fucking Lita, who was going out with Matt. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, like
He's a scumbag too.
Corey Graves doing the same thing with
Scumbag. Scumbags.
Agreed, but not
And-
against the law.
enough for nothing. How does Tay Conte look on this, knowing that she was in back watching Sammy Guevara propose to his chubby girlfriend? Like, why does she not get no blame in this?
She's a hoe. What do you want me to say?
Okay, that's all good though. She's a beautiful looking hoe.
Yeah, well.
Brazilian,
This is when you could bounce quarters off her ass into a shot
that
glass.
Brazilian bum. Oh my god. I'd put a fucking Happy Meal in that fucking balloon knot. Eat it right out.
And believe me.
Clean
my
it up,
wife-
dude.
My
Come
wife,
on, you're the host.
my wife probably heard that, so I'm dead meat. But whatever.
She's Conte Rumble now.
You wish.
Hey, will you guys give any credit to that tag match last week on Rampage?
Which match was? I didn't watch Rampage.
Oh man, it was really good. It was Penelope Ford
Ooh.
and
The buddy.
The hardcore match.
yeah, I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
The only one who didn't bleed was Anna Jay, and I knew that.
So here's another perspective I wanted to bring up. Do you know why the WWE stopped with what we call gigging and chair shots to the head? Do you know the main reason behind them?
Chair shots, yeah. I mean, but gigging, no.
Okay, the gigging had to be. Go ahead, give out before you. I'll tell you all. Go ahead, Belly.
Well, I just think like with WWE, like programming, whatever's done in the ring, little kids are going to try to do it at home.
Okay. So what made a difference during the Attitude Era with all that stuff?
Well, that's why they changed it. Why do you think Daniel Bryan, when he choked out the announcer there, that's why he got sent home? That's why, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, if you see blood on TV, WWE TV, it might scare kids to watch. That's what I think.
Are we that soft?
Yeah.
This generation is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Pelly, they have bled forever in pro wrestling. Let's just get that straight. When we were kids, they would put the big X up on the TV and put censored, okay? Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with little kids watching or nothing, but that is a great thing. It has to do with hepatitis was running rampant with all these 80s wrestlers. It started to go into the 90s genre. So with that being said, it was one less thing that Vince wanted to face was his wrestlers to start coming up with these blood diseases, okay? So now the cheer shot thing is because of the lawsuit that is up against the WWE for all these head injuries, okay?
If you go back and look at the chair shots of the Attitude Era, man, those were fucking dangerous.
There is a huge lawsuit up right now, and it has like 500 wrestlers, football players. There's a lawsuit against Vince McMahon. It's been going on for about 4 years, and it all has to do with the CTE stuff.
Right, and I respect that and I understand that, but you also have to look at it this way. This is, and I'm not saying that this is my point of view, but you know full well what you're doing when you get in that ring and you sign a waiver.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying that if you noticed, Tony Khan, he lets you blade, you take chair shots to the head. Once he has, in 10 years from now, if that company lasts, once there is a wrestler or two who predominantly was on his company that test positive for hepatitis, and the first couple of guys that he's got that start having these recurring head issues, that's when lawsuits will start to happen against him. And the first taste he gets of lawsuits like that, that'd be the last you see of that type of violence in a ring.
Yep.
I got you, Rumble.
That's why
I don't think it kills it for any of the business, but like that's one of the things that people are saying. Like, well, AEW will let their wrestlers bleed, and AEW will let wrestlers crank each other in the head with fucking steel chairs because Tony Khan isn't on that lawsuit, and Vince McMahon is. And also, the reason why Vince did that is because he wanted to clean the health of the wrestlers up, knowing that that the hepatitis ran rampant. These guys are out there sweating, hopping in cars, not taking showers, putting clothing back on, rubbing up against those mats. There's so much disease. And then that going into the open wounds, it was something Vince did silently to clean up. It had nothing to do with it because Vince loved the whole art of the blade and the whole 9 yards. There was a perception back in the day that the old timers, if you took a post or you took the steel cage, you had to bleed.
Yeah, to make it look again
to make it look real. Yes.
Yep.
Hey, as a viewer, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I love to see it.
I'm right there with you. That's the one thing, I'll be honest with you. That's the one thing I like about AEW. I like that they get color, as we call it. I like the color. I thought the match that Britt Baker got the color in, that's what made me a fan of Dr. Britt Baker.
Yes.
Right there. That match.
I can tell you one
made
time.
me a fan.
I can tell you one time that the only time it bothered me once. One time it bothered me was when JBL did it to Eddie. And the way he hit his head and the way it just made a gap. Eddie was bleeding the most I've ever seen anybody bleed. I thought he was going to fucking die. I think it stopped shortly after that, but like Eddie took one, man, and I saw the gash. It was just like, ugh, it was bad.
I hear what you're saying, Rumble. That's probably the point where when you see color on WWE or anywhere right now, they put the gloves on right away.
Yes, they do. They make it look like the UFC.
Yep.
So, did anybody see MJF's post today? About if the door was truly, the forbidden door was truly open, that Vince McMahon would invite the best women's wrestler on God's green earth, Dr. Britt Baker, to the Royal Rumble.
He's got a point.
So that makes
I can't, as much as I can't stand MJF, and I think he's a freaking clown. He's got a point.
But that lends more credence to what you said earlier, Jay. Is it possible that Mickie James drops that title tonight because her contract runs out, and then the forbidden door really isn't open?
From what I understand, she signed with TNA for 3 years.
Okay.
And she's only been gone what, a year?
Yeah.
Not even.
You don't hear about 1 year deal. So
yeah.
I hope that the door's open, man. Because
you and me both.
Yeah,
I had a thought today. It's probably foolish, but what happens if like every promotion right now is working together? What happens if they're all in cahoots?
That would be awesome. It would be awesome for all of us.
Yeah, that would be good for the wrestling business.
It would be. It would be.
I hope to God Ring of Honor somehow finds, like, I would love to see or learn that, like, in good terms, in a good way, that Vince tells Triple H, be like, go ahead and run Ring of Honor. I'll help you out a little bit. Go start your own. There's enough floating talent out there to run another wrestling promotion.
Yeah,
of course there is.
And I would love to see Ring of Honor survive, and I would love to see Triple H running it. I know that I think you can all agree now that they are decimating everything that Triple H has done. For what reason?
Done.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Do we all agree NXT? There was nothing wrong with NXT.
No,
I said that last night. We said that last
night.
But still, Forbes, I want to hear your part of it. That you was missed sorely last night because
not really. But anyways,
Mike, I heard you say on air, I'm a clown, but you still love me. So
yeah, well, yeah, I love busting your balls, but you're still a clown.
It's your way of showing affection, and
you and your clown crew, like that clown Joey Rosario. I like to get him. In the
How is he on here if you don't know him? How was he invited?
Because Gorilla was started like 7 years ago.
Yeah,
and at that time, everybody pretty much had the authority to invite any wrestling fan they wanted.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to be an admin because I can change the background. But
I'm sorry. That's my
I'll
bad.
do it tonight, Mike. I'll do it tonight.
So
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, Joey Rosario wants to fight Mike in a 60-man Iron Man match.
What did this all start about?
It was a post. It's something I forgot. I have to find it. He's just a clown. He like that kid. I like that kid up like a Christmas tree.
I thought you guys knew him.
Nope. I troll him so bad when he runs his mouth. It's pathetic what I do to him. I get him all fired up. At least when I do it to Forbesy, he knows I'm only fucking with him. That kid gets all riled up.
I'm sorry, but if Braun Breaker was to go up tomorrow, he would fizzle out. I don't see any. I honestly.
No, he wouldn't make it right now. He's too green. Same thing with Carmelo Hayes, too green. And I love Christian, but he shouldn't be going up at all either.
Mike King, you're an admin now.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so now, did anybody see the pictures from last night at SmackDown? The dark match.
No.
It was Tommaso Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne. Yep.
And Pete Dunne, yep.
Well,
so, with that being said, I believe Tommaso is going up to the main roster.
It's either that or retire.
Yes. But I think what Tommaso had said originally that he wasn't really feeling the main roster pull up was the fact that that's when the WWE pre-pandemic was on the road 4 to 5 days a week, which now they ain't even on the road like that no more.
Yeah, but ask Tommaso if he's feeling the NXT roster right now. You know what I mean? It's like it's time.
After the match, he went and shook hands and gave Rick Steiner a hug. So
yeah,
but if you're smashing the product that he was has raised himself, and you see somebody
Yeah.
smack his ex, I'd be like, yeah, okay, look, maybe it is time for me to go up.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
sure
what I mean?
Tommaso, he doesn't have any beef with the talent. It's not his fault. It's not their fault. I'm just saying that they're clearly flushing out anything Triple H.
Oh yeah.
That's
Tommaso
what
is
I mean.
Triple H.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, do you
So
think?
Tommaso is saying, all right, it's time for me to like, if I want to do anything more with my career, this is a brand new thing. Let them do their thing. If I'm going to do anything more with my career, let's try the call up. You know
He
what I
has
mean?
to at least try.
Yep.
You have to try.
I think he's
Well-
got a great character for main roster.
Yep.
You
Now,
won't-
what do
you
you
won't-
guys? What do you guys
Don't be
think the
too
reason?
surprised. Don't be too surprised if you see Walter get pulled up too. By the way,
Walter's coming, dude. He's moving to the States.
Yeah, I saw that
He's
too.
divorced. He's divorced. He's coming to the States. He'll be great for the main roster. But what do you guys think? Do you think the sole reason for this is because Triple H lost to AEW in the ratings?
no.
I think
Why?
that if that's the reason why, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Whose idea was it to put him against AEW, Vince's or Triple H's?
Vince's. He has the final say in everything.
So that's not Triple H's fault.
Nope.
Why do you think this is happening? Do you think, if you look throughout Triple H's career, okay, we all know the type of kind of guy he is when it comes to using that big schmoz of his for power. Okay, he rode with the clique. He he married the boss's daughter. I mean, is some of this karma or what? I mean, I don't know. I just know that NXT was fucking awesome.
Okay. How
Was
about
Vince
this?
jealous? Was Vince jealous that people talk more about NXT than WWE?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When people started bringing up the fact that NXT should replace Monday Night Raw,
That was
Okay.
the nail in the coffin right there. Goodbye.
Forbesy, there was legit, you know what I mean? And you can't tell me he doesn't hear the news that Monday Night Raw needs to move the fuck over and NXT needs to be on Monday nights.
Well,
So why not take something from NXT formula and bring it up to make Raw better than?
Because Vince didn't create it.
Okay,
Not
right.
Vince's idea.
Vince is fucking maniacal, man. Yeah, he's
Yes,
a
he
genius,
is.
but like sometimes he cuts his nose to spite his face, man.
He's a piece of garbage. And I believe it not only has to, so in the WWE right now, there's a guy on Ring of Honor announces sitting with the announce team for Impact, and behind Impact you got 3 people with face masks that are the WWE belt replicas. And that is what, you know what I mean? Like, this is, it's hilarious.
All I know is the last 5 years or so, like you guys all watched the NXT takeovers, right? Those crowds were fucking hot, man. You don't hear that in the WWE main roster shows. Not
Yeah.
even on pay-per-views, man. That's,
some of them you do. Sometimes you do.
it's
some
far
of
and
the
few
matches.
between, man. But it was every time where NXT takeover was.
Listen, when NXT went to Brooklyn Barclays for their first ever outside the promotion pay-per-view, and they did 15,700 and change, and it was the same amount of tickets sold for the pay-per-view for the WWE. Or I believe they did NXT Brooklyn, and that's the year they had WrestleMania was outdoors in New York, if I'm not
I think-
mistaken.
It's because
Yeah,
the
it
wrestling
was that
fan is
kind of
always
thing.
looking for something new. They're always looking something new to grab on. A different form or a different aisle of entertainment. That's
Yeah.
why people flocked to AEW when it first came out, because it was something new. And I guess I'm not sure if I'm right, but every week or like every week or every couple of weeks, they are providing like something new, whether it be like a 60-minute Iron Man match or a Flameless Tables match, or that is a different form of entertainment that WWE is putting out. Like, I'm not picking one or the other, but I do like snippets of both products. Like, you know what I mean? I think you guys would agree.
Yeah, you're a very cordial man, AJP. You don't shit on anybody, which is cool. You like it all. You're a fan. I don't hear you going out of your way to shit on either or, and that's how we should all be. But That's just not how it is. Mike's going to continue to fucking fight on AEW. I'm going to fight on WWE, and y'all are going to be the man of reason. And
Yep.
and Jay, you're very reasonable to both sides as well. So you could just moderate. So that's a good balance for a panel.
See, I don't shit on AEW all the time. I just call it what it is, a super indie fed. That's it.
But see, that's where I laugh, because you guys are career indie guys. You make it sound like indie is a bad word, and it's not.
No, but they're trying. But my point is, and this is my point, and I've said this from day one, if they kept WWE out of their mouth, they would be fine. But
all right, so this is where I want to pick up right after.
I think they will eventually.
Every other segment, every other day, they're talking about WWE, and don't even talk in MJ, because that was a good promo, and I like that promo. So don't try to throw out and say, "Well, that." That's not the point. The point of it is that Tony Khan or Cody Rhodes can't help themselves but take shots at WWE, and that's my point.
Okay, so I agree. Off camera, yes. But I think on camera now, any promotion with the fans watching and viewing,
I agree.
75% of the fans in attendance, they know what the guys did and who did what and where they've been. So I don't think it's that bad now looking over that people, because this is another thing where Joey is right, insulting the intelligence of the fan. And that's just like insulting the intelligence of the fan when Vince brought up Teabag and Mace, knowing that we knew that Teabag was Donovan Dijakovic, okay? And it's even to the certain point of insulting our intelligence to just take Daniel Bryan's name and reverse Bryan Danielson's name and reverse it. So I think nowadays recognizing certain things in certain aspects without having to insult your intelligence or my intelligence, I think it's a good thing. But yes, I totally agree, Mike, that if Tony Khan or any of these guys, other than it being on air on television, going out of their way to mention the proverbial other company in a dumb way, yes, I believe it's uncalled for.
Yeah, but you make a good point, Jay. You say off camera, on camera. You know what I mean? I think on camera, it pops the crowd. It gets a reaction.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But out of the gate, okay?
Yeah.
Out of the gate, the first time they were on the air, they started taking shots at WWE. Like they in the beginning they thought they were gonna take over WWE, and they're still not taking over WWE.
And I know when Taz goes, "We run a clean shop here. We don't run a filthy shop." That's a legit thing. I can see to that.
Yeah.
But like the Miz saying the other night, MJF saying the other night to CM Punk, "You've never main evented a WrestleMania."
Yeah.
I don't find that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
I thought that was a good promo.
So there's certain things.
I am getting sick and tired of seeing CM Punk on TV every week and not wrestling. But hey, you know,
I'm kind of half with you, Mike. Yeah, it's just I think right now the only thing AEW has for a good long-term story is MJF and Punk. Other than that, what else is there? I can't think of anything.
Not.
Let's discuss. Where does Daniel Bryan go from here? Where's Bryan Danielson go from here?
What did I say 2 weeks ago? What did I say? If they did not put over Page for that title, for him to keep it, they were done. Did I not say that?
They made the right move, no doubt.
Yeah, they did, because it gives legitimate. It makes Page legitimate.
Yeah.
If you put over Danielson for that title, they were done.
I've heard some good things about that. They had said this one guy that does a YouTube thing that I watched. He said the credibility of Adam Page now was off the charts because he looks like a legit fighting champion.
Yep, I agree.
What were you going to say, Pelly?
maybe that's why they had to do it. 2 matches in a row against a high caliber opponent like Bryan Danielson. He came from WWE, so you beat a top WWE guy 2 times in a row, 60. What both of those 60 minutes?
No.
No, it
First
went
one was
about
a
40
60-minute
minutes.
draw. 60-minute draw. First one, and then yeah.
That's just say, hey, we got an AEW purebred wrestler that beats a former WWE champion 2 times in a row. That makes your product more credible, or tries
He
to
didn't
anyway.
beat him. He didn't beat him 2 times in a row, Pelly.
They beat him 2 times in a row. It's a time limit draw.
Well, that's what I mean. But still though,
So
he hung with
how
us.
did if
He
me
hung
and you
with
go
us.
60 minutes, Pelly? Did you beat me or did I beat you?
No, come
But
on,
he
guys.
still
He
hung
meant
with them.
he
He hung
meant he
with them.
didn't lose.
Yes.
He didn't. That's what I mean. He didn't lose. He hung with them.
Yes, he hung with them. Have you watched the second match yet?
No.
You got to watch it. I
better than the
highly
first.
recommend it.
It's better than
They
the first.
kicked each other's butts. It was a very entertaining match, and it was so totally different from the first. And they went about they went like a little over 40 minutes.
Who's the guy from Ring of Honor that they signed? That's what's next for Daniel Bryan. Is one of those guys from Ring of Honor that is out there. He's
Jay
had a few-
Lethal's the only guy I can think of.
They signed somebody, and he hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, the only other guy I know they signed from AEW from Ring of Honor is the guy that's showing up to be in Aleister Black's corner, Brody Steele.
Brody Steele. Who was Who was another one of Ring of Honor's top guys?
Jay Lethal just signed with them.
No, not Jay Lethal.
Gresham.
That's
Well,
going to be
Jonathan
Daniel Bryan
Gresham.
next.
Okay, if Jonathan Gresham signed with AEW, he is right now on the Impact pay-per-view defending his Ring of Honor championship against Chris Sabin.
He has not signed with them.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying he has. He hasn't signed with anybody. He's just
Gresham, pound for pound, is one of the best wrestlers alive today. It just sucks that he's probably an inch or two taller than Rey Mysterio. He's basically that guy there from England that was in Mustache Mountain. He's basically his height, but
Tyler
a
Bate.
lot but thicker. What?
Tyler Bate.
Isn't he?
Yes,
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bates. That's who he reminds me of.
Isn't he married to Jordan Grayson? That's her husband, right?
Who? Tyler Bates?
No, Gresham.
I think
it's
so.
Gresham.
Yes. Yep.
Did you guys catch the Karrion Kross and Scarlett interview with Renee?
No, I did not.
It's worth a listen, man.
I caught bits and pieces of it, and he knew that he was getting buried. He knew it.
I didn't realize he was so well-spoken, soft-spoken. You know what I mean? I was surprised by that.
90% of the guys in professional wrestling, their gimmicks are so far left of what their real perceived persona is.
Except for
It is truly an yeah, we know you live like a bum. I understand.
As for Samoa Joe,
Wow.
if he wasn't injury prone, maybe they held on to him. But like as a trainer, doesn't he hold value as a trainer?
I don't understand why they let him go. I don't understand why they would let
Triple H.
Yeah, I know. It all has to do with Triple H right now.
So rumor has it, and I've heard this from numerous people, that he's being brought back as a trainer on a lower salary.
Who?
Joe.
It's a
Samoa
shame
Joe.
that it's a shame that he wasn't able to pan out. He just got hurt way too many times.
A lot of mileage on that body, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's not.
It took him a long time to get where he was with TNA.
Yeah.
With you. He wasn't a spring chicken in the business when he got to
No.
TNA.
He's in his late 40s.
No, he's not. He's 43.
Okay, so
I mean, I know that's not a spring chicken, but like he came up with Punk. Him and Punk are the same age.
Right, but when he got to TNA, I'm talking about his bump card. His bump card was almost done.
listen, if I got a chance at 43, which is 6 years ago, I was in good condition. But if I was to have to go and do performance style workouts, I'd be going home in 6 months. No lie. No lie at all. To be in your early 40s and then have to do that type of regimen, it would be a hard thing to do.
Then AJ Styles is an anomaly. Then,
Yeah,
which he
without
is,
a
which he
doubt.
is.
But then again, AJ didn't go down and have to train at the performance center and do any of that. AJ was taken the way he was. People like Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, and those guys all had to break in and do their things at the performance center. Personal.
And Styles just signed a 5-year deal.
Oh, he re-signed?
Yep.
Wow.
He signed the same time the Good Brothers did.
No. He just re-signed, and rumor has it Tony Khan offered him a shitload of money to come to AEW, and he said no.
No, that doesn't mean that Nick Khan won't cut him, man.
I think a guy like AJ,
AJ Styles is not. Yeah, AJ Styles is not getting cut.
Vince McMahon came out blatantly and said he wished he had took it on AJ Styles 10 years ago.
AJ Styles is not getting cut. Kevin Owens is not getting cut. Seth Rollins is not. None of them guys are getting cut.
There's nobody left. There's nobody left to cut.
Right, but they all drink the Kool-Aid. That's why they're not getting cut.
Pelly will tell you, the WWE getting a job as a Canadian, that's like you've reached the end-all, be-all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him, Pelly.
That's the pinnacle of professional wrestling. That's what every wrestler in Canada, that's what you want to do. Like Bret Hart, if Bret Hart ran for Prime Minister, he'd win.
That's what I try telling people. Like the WWE is end all be all with Canadians.
Same thing with Samoans. End
all be all, man.
Guarantee you'll never see a Samoan in AEW. You won't.
I'm surprised they never put Joe with the bloodline.
I don't think you'd see AEW book any shows in Canada. Because I don't think they do.
No.
Up. Nope. Saban almost thought he won the belt, but Gresham's leg is underneath the top rope, which is the worst rule in all of professional wrestling. I believe the foot should be on the rope. It shouldn't matter if the foot is on the apron part. I think that's bogus.
Is he the heel, Gresham?
No, the fight, it's a Ring of Honor style. So it was the handshake, the respect, the whole 9 yards. It's basically babyface with great moves versus great babyface with great wrestling. You know? So predictions, Monday night. Does anybody show up on WWE television? Does anything get spicier? And
so what are they? 3 weeks out from the Royal Rumble?
Yep.
I think they could start at Monday night.
Yep.
I can see that happening.
Well, Seth Rollins, he's a Raw guy, isn't he? Why did he show up on SmackDown?
I don't know. Very interesting.
And he went babyface too after SmackDown.
Oh, when it went off the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's SmackDown. Yeah.
So here's what I believe. I believe we're starting to see the start of one big roster.
Now that Fox has anything to say about it.
I think that's what we're seeing. I think Fox will like the fact that they have switched suit. They'll have an abundance of different WWE personas. I think it's a win-win for both networks.
Absolutely.
Especially if and to tell you the truth, I think it makes it easier on a writing crew to write continuations from Monday to go into Friday, from Friday to go into Monday. I think it makes it that much easier.
He's releasing all this talent. He should
What's
release
that?
like half of. He should release half of these writers he's got.
Well, I'll tell you right now, for back when they were just one roster, that's when they had their best TV.
Yeah. I think Paulie needs to take over the creative.
Yes, totally agree. Totally.
Just
agree.
just look at his storylines. Now
Yeah.
that he's in 2, it's the best thing they got. It's the most engrossing, what everybody's paying attention to, and everything else is just way
Yeah.
below it.
I believe the roster needs to go back to 1. I think the unifications, and I believe the first Monday night after WrestleMania, that's when everything goes back into 1. I believe it's a lot easier to concentrate on writing for 50 people than 50 people per TV show. The people you don't use, let them go down to the old product. Let them do the docs before. Let them go on. Let them do let them do the main events. Let them do the whatever they're making 205 into. But let them do the network special events for the people that you're really not using much of.
Yeah, I think they're gonna kill 205 Live. To be honest with you,
You
They
know,
already did.
I think in a way, shape, and form that they should just make a brand new program, and it should be a network program and run it right out of the performance center with the main roster people.
no.
Like a shotgun Saturday night.
Something like that, and you don't let the world champion come on. If anything, once a month, let the intercontinental title be highlighted, and a guy gets a run off of it. You know what I mean?
Like the old days, man.
Yep, like the old days. Jonathan Gresham just went over Chris Sabin,
No, yeah.
so
Because supposedly Ring of Honor is coming back in what, April?
yes. They only took a break, a little time off. That's all. That's it. Just a little
Okay,
time off.
they did strip the TNT title. There's no title. It's going to be a tournament.
Good.
For an interim champion.
Does this further Cody's delusional face heel turn deal?
I think because he's doing that TV show again.
Yeah, he is. He's doing that show. It's actually not a bad TV show.
It's okay, but
Everything, though, can I tell you something? Everything that TBS, TNT puts out as far as television production wise, it's like cable access television put it together. It's horrible. It really is.
Super Indie.
I mean, just their television shows. If you watch the stuff that's produced by TBS and or TNT, horrible. Horrible production, but I watched that show last year. I thought it was pretty good. Some crazy stuff.
WCW production.
no, those stunts are pretty fucking badass.
Yes, they are. I watched it.
I saw one where they actually showed the dude fuck up and
Yes.
almost kill himself. And
Snoop Dogg was funny on that. I liked him on that show.
Well, you would.
He was funny.
Snoop is good
Yeah.
on commentary too. When he
Yeah.
did the Tyson,
Oh man, Mauro Ranallo had me on edge, just talking about how I'm starting to feel a little bit of a head change over here, different from any time I've ever done announcing.
Snoop and Morrow were great,
Yep.
but like Snoop did color awesome.
Yes.
It's funny. He's like, that looks like my two uncles fighting out there. Was Tyson and who did he fight?
Oh. It looks like my two uncles at a barbecue at a family barbecue fighting over the last rib.
That's like Jesse commentary. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
I gotta say this: Dustin can still fucking go.
Yeah, I never said I've always been a huge fan of Goldust.
He's actually, now that he's straight or whatever, like he had some bad years in between there, but like he's cleaned up his act.
Listen, I heard some bad stuff about him during the bad years.
When he went to WCW as like 7 and put on all that weight or whatever,
when he came back out on the Indies right before he went back to WWE and then left to do this thing with Cody. I had a friend that picked him up for an indie show. The friend that picked him up from the indie show said he came out to his car, was all depressed, and said, the first place you see, I want a liquor store. So he took him to the liquor store, and then he's got a paper bag with, he didn't know what the hell was in it. So my buddy pulls into the place, and he's just the driver. And Dustin goes, I'm gonna kill this out here, and I got me some entertainment. And he proceeded to drink beer and make love to his hand in the front seat of my buddy's car.
Oh my God.
Because he bought a handful of Playboy magazines. So we have just gotten a huge, like somebody wrote a comment here, O_tweaks from Twitch. Never been the cool guy, never been the smart guy. Just wanted my life to change so I could be the guy I try so hard to fit in with people. I hate having no feelings for anyone. I don't care anymore. We are just subjects who need to wake up, but it's impossible. Every day it gets harder and harder. The only opinions that are considered logical are by the rich. A homeless man could have the same opinion, but we won't listen to him. Funny to me how he's no way to live anymore.
That has
It's
nothing to
too
do with
late.
wrestling, man.
I don't know who's watching my program right
That's a
now on
spam,
Twitch,
dude.
but that was weird. I'm sorry if you're out there and you feel like you're going to take your life. Get in touch with somebody, talk to somebody. If this is an outlandish comment, if you need any help, reach. There's plenty of places online that will help you. So, yeah, I truly believe that this has two things about, like, it smells weird. The whole Triple H thing, I believe it's a jealousy thing. I honestly do. I believe it's a jealousy thing. Vince being on his high horse, proving that anything you can do, he can do better. And I believe it has to do with the fact that Vince probably just doesn't like this era of professional wrestling. He likes the big guys. He don't like the small dudes. He doesn't like, and I believe maybe he just thinks that if it's him, he can make wrestling whatever it wants to be.
Well, the NIL program is going to be like all collegiate type athletes, maybe ex-football players, so they'll have the size that he's looking for. Yep. He's not going to do indie guys, but come on, guys, you know that there's a lot of talent. That's what NXT was. It was built on indie guys.
I know.
That's not what Vince wants. The ratings are the same as the old NXT, just about. They're not that much different. Nope. So there is an audience for it.
Yeah. Just Braun Breaker to me, I feel like we're going back in time having a guy that just, and he's not even all that, he's in good shape, don't get me wrong, but he ain't Brian Cage jacked.
No.
That you'll see him on WWE TV soon.
They're going to have to, because they're going to end up probably taking this NXT.
I'm talking about Brian Cage.
Yeah, no, but I don't be surprised if you see Braun Breaker up too.
Oh, that would kill him.
He'll fall flat on his face.
Yeah, he ain't ready for that.
I think what they're going to do with NXT, I mean, depending on what the networks do, is just strictly make it a developmental program like it was intended to be. And you won't see it on USA anymore. It'll be.
They got 3 years. It's got
3 years. Yeah,
3 years. Can't just kill a show to have shitty ratings. Like then that would piss me off. That's almost like as bad as Jeff Hardy claiming he fucking relapsed just to quit.
Well, what happens if the ratings tank, though? Does the network have a right to cancel it?
They do, but Vince, do you think Vince wants to give back money from a TV deal?
No, that's guaranteed too. By the way, they can't do that.
So don't you think it was kind of risky for him to do this?
No,
Like again, I say, I just don't think Vince. I think Vince is Vince McMahon, and he's always said that he's got the biggest balls of all, and it's just another Vince McMahon tactic.
Well, I mean, the XFL did fail. I mean, he took that chance.
You know,
Didn't kill him.
that
The
new
second-
XFL wasn't bad. If the
COVID
kid,
killed that.
the COVID killed it.
I know.
But now what's going to kill them is they're going to let a whole new market into the United States because Fox is back in the USFL.
Rock was trying to get the XFL back up and running too because he bought it.
Yeah.
He was, and he said with the COVID going on right now, it can't be guaranteed that he can bring it back for 2022. That it's more than likely set for 2023. And then there was rumors that he wanted to merge it with the CFL, and I'm a part of a CFL chat group. And those Canadian CFLers, they don't want American style football. They like their football the way it is.
Yep.
They like the 3 downs. They like it because it's more faster, more exciting. And I agree. If a really good CFL game is much more entertaining, no lie, than an NFL game any day of the week.
It's like an institution here in Canada.
So like an institution here in the United States with the NFL.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But, well, it's been an interesting week of free agents and other things. Help, no such thing. Love, no such thing. Only thing that's real is death. A genius in disguise me. I will never meet me or see me. I simply wish you the best. But all happy endings come to an end. I want to take my life honestly. Life is all a lie, but we'll never see it for its true colors. Will the cycle ever break? I doubt it. We can't even live anymore. One can. It's time for me to go.
This is Vin Capelli trolling, man.
No, it's not.
Oh, no way. This dude is on Twitch, and he is O_tweaks. He's definitely tweaking. His name is definitely right there. Buddy, I hope you're the best, man. I hope you're the best there, O_tweaks.
Yeah, hopefully he gets some help because that's
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
hopefully you get some help, brother. So, all right, boys. I think we had a good 2 nights here talking a lot of wrestling, old school.
yeah.
This week I'll have Michael Botti on Being Humble with Jason Rumble. It will either be I'll pick a night. Not sure. I need to make it a night where I don't have basketball distracting me.
Jay, he's got that podcast going with the Wrestling with Weight, man. It's very, very good. Very good. Good stuff, man. He's actually a good friend of mine, and check that out, man. He posted.
Keep it up. I'm gonna smack that book off your head, Pelly.
See, I got my wife tomorrow filling out the whole thing on Spotify's website. And then from there, she'll go on here and she puts a couple of types in, types out. So as soon as I hit that I want it to record for Spotify, it'll upload not only voice, but if they have video available podcasts, it'll be available too on that feature. So Spotify is a fingertips away, and that's what they say makes it grow. And plus, I have a podcast website that I'm looking over that tomorrow. So quite possibly there'll be a website for the podcast also.
Do you watch any podcasts yourself?
You know, when I'm not busy with extracurricular sports, I do. I will
listen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I used to love. I'll be honest with you. Pelly will tell you. Jericho's podcast was always my favorite.
Do you know who really kicked it off? Was Austin's. Austin was the one that really kicked off this wrestling podcast thing.
I liked Austin's, but my favorite's always been Jericho's. Always, yeah, I've been a huge Jericho fan of his podcast.
Hey, I'll say this in closing, man. If you guys get around to it, watch this Dustin Sammy match. Fucking awesome.
I will be watching the Night of Champions tomorrow before I sit down and watch my last week of NFL football.
Okay, so
Poor
in
Jay.
I'm gonna watch
other words, don't watch it then. But Pelly, give this a shot, man. This is a great match.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it.
it.
I'll be watching it tomorrow before the NFL football. Last week of NFL football. I can't believe the season's already over. Man, it flew by.
The 18th week, they added the 18th week. KC almost lost tonight.
KC, I watched that against Denver. It was back and forth. If Melvin Gordon, the running back, he was running and he had the thing, Melvin Ingram, his former teammate of the San Diego, when they were both on the San Diego Chargers, he just took the ball right out of his hands, stripped it, went up in the air, went into some other guy's hand, and the guy ran it back to the 15-yard line, and KC just run it. They would have went up by 5.
Cincinnati is a very likable team, man. I like seeing what they did.
Yeah, but they're also one of these sporadic teams that have showed up in the NFL that you just don't know what you're getting. Same thing with Kansas City. You just don't know what you're getting. It's been the most weirdest NFL year in a long, long time.
David Crockett just handed Sammy the title.
Who's
Green
in
Bay and
the
KC. Green Bay and KC.
Okay.
Green Bay and Tennessee?
That would have been my second choice. They're getting Derrick Henry back.
If Derrick Henry runs the way he did at the beginning of the season, I don't see anybody stopping Tennessee.
AJ Brown.
Not when they got those 2 receivers and they got a tight end. That's just my opinion, but opinions are like assholes, and everybody got one. So, yeah, Lysol disinfected. It's good stuff. 2 years ago, you could have got $1 million a bottle for that stuff.
No shit.
All right, fellas, I think it's been a good one, man. Had a lot of fun these past 2 nights.
Next Saturday, same time.
Same time, same bat channel, baby.
Hang in there, Road Tweaks.
Enjoy reading that book, Fingers. Enjoy reading that book, Fingers.
He hasn't read a freaking page.
Listen, if you know the physics of like what the breathing means, all these this is good stuff, man. This is deep psychological stuff, man.
He's such an asshole.
Fucking bullshit.
No, man. Pelly breaks down the whole meaning of life, bro.
Why do you think I call you a clown? Because you're being a clown right now. What hat you got on right now, you clown? Your pink
Old
hat?
school Phillies.
Old school Phillies. Mike Schmidt.
I dig what you're putting down here, man. I dig it.
So Pelly, he hasn't read your book yet.
I've read some.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
You lying
Liar.
sack of clown shit. You haven't.
I will have my review next week.
All right, we look forward to it.
All right.
Let me get my bullshit boots on too for next week, because that's what it's all going to be.
Go on, Pelly. Give us the sell.
Where's your copy, Stiffy?
I haven't gotten one yet.
No.
So
Hey,
there.
Pelly, do you know that when you sent the books that you were supposed to send one for my sister-in-law, Chelsea, too? She was the one that really wanted to read it.
Oh, shoot. Well, just let Nicole give her after she's done reading. Just give it to Chelsea.
Yeah. Autograph to Nicole, just give it away.
Hey, let me close with this statement from a great man.
Okay.
When the eyes open, the warfare begins.
With that being said, thank you, everyone. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We'll see you next week, brothers, sisters.
Who's that a quote from, AJP?
That's my book.
There you go. With that being said, continue to